Well, thank you for joining us this morning. It's Morning Spring on Western Spring Television, and it's truly a beautiful morning. It is Morning Spring o'clock. This is what we do here every weekday, 7 a.m. Speaking truth through power, holding everyone accountable, including the fourth estate of the realm, which is the media. We have a constitutional duty, to ask very important questions, all for the public good. And that is what we do here, speaking to critical stakeholders, everyone that is involved in this business of the Nigerian state, and of course of the Nigerian people at the national level, at the subnational level, even at the grassroots. Actually, that is why we are here. On this program, we usually look at headlines from front pages of our major dailies. And of course, we then get talking about these issues, in a very awesome way. At the other side of that, Femi Ojo is my name. So much to look into, so much to talk about. And we are live on Western Spring Television on StarTimes DTT, channel 190, 190 on StarTimes DTT, and also on our YouTube channel at Western Spring Television NG, Western Spring Television NG. Of course, you have the address scrolling on your screen right now. That is where we're beaming live from crisply clear and, of course, very loudly. If you are ready, we are ready today, and a lot to really talk about. The issue yesterday on the program, we talked about the issue of the abduction in Kaduna State, which has become a subject of confusion right now. Did it happen or did it not happen? And if it did happen, what's the number? Was it up to 100? Some are saying it's 172. Some are saying it's 177. Some are saying, yeah, it did happen. But, the numbers are not even up to 100. And it become a subject of controversy. And of course, many persons are waiting. Even within Kaduna State, the police has taken a position to say, as of yesterday, that it didn't happen. That is a falsehood and all of those things, and many things that needs to be said today. But then the headline segment, we'll look into all of that. The conversation will be broadened, but that will be after now. Stay with us.
Samuel Ladoke Akintola was a frontal figure in the historical moves that birthed an independent Nigeria from colonial Britain. As a freedom activist, he deployed his wits, energy, intellect, and oratory skills to prepare the grounds for constitutional talks that eventually culminated in the country's independence in 1960. The 13th Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land cut his teeth as a politician when he became a foundation member of Action Group, the dominant political party in the Western region, and was elected the party's parliamentary leader of opposition at the Federal House of Representatives. The crisis in the Action Group, which pitched Samuel Ladoke Akintola against his leader, was not only a sore point in his colorful political life, but a reversal of gains which characterized the exemplary leadership of Awolowo Akintola premiership. 23 years after his death, Oyo State University of Technology Ogbomosho was renamed Samuel Ladoke Akintola University of Technology to keep his memory alive. Western Spring Television identifies Samuel Ladoke Akintola as a major character in history.
All right, thank you for staying with us. Just like I said, it's been a period or, a few days of confusion talking about the national level. And we talked about it yesterday. In fact, we had a guest who said the police owe it a duty for stakeholders at different levels must ascertain that is really happened, talking about the incident in Kaduna State, because before everything becomes, so much politicized, because politically inclined persons are now being part of it. But then they are first Nigerians, even if they are politicians. Anybody should be concerned about the situation of the country. Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning, Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us today. It is the midweek installment of Beyond the Headlines, Western Spring Television. This is where we serve you headlines. We give you quality analysis from the mouths of our analysts. My name is Temitope Ajijolaoluwola. Thank you for joining us.
Now, as I was saying, the latest to have waded into this matter is P2B, and of course, when politicians like himself, knowing what happens in the public space, in the political space, waiting for the matter, there are some that will say, oh, we are politicizing it for your own selfish gains, and some will say, oh, it's a lie. I saw the statement that he put out on his X handle, and of course, the comment underneath. Or some that will say that's right, some that will say it is not right, some that will say, oh, he's somebody who gets political points from challenges in the country, and some that will say, oh, it's a lie because the police has denied that such happened in Kaduna State, and some are now putting those statements there to say, why are you publicizing this? This didn't happen. And but then that the father is a politician, or other people of opposing views or opposition parties doesn't take away the fact that they are Nigerians. The issue is, did the incident happen or not? Have we really ascertained that it happened? And if actually it did happen, and when you check the statement made by P2B, in fact, he kind of, in my own view, balanced it to say, if it is not true, glory be to God. If it is true, we have a lot of work to do. And that's not the way the nation should be run. So, but then, when politics get into the mix, all of a sudden, people conveniently leave out the substance of the matter and begin attacking individuals.
Yes. It's time to get serious about security. I mean, this is the beginning of the year. This is where we should take the bull, by the horn and stop all this dilly-dallying, the banters, the back and forth, and all of those things. We should get serious.
We should really get serious about what is really happening. And of course, let me read out part of what P2B said. In fact, somebody called him one of those fierce supporters of Mr. President on X, which is his legal right, constitutional matter. You can support anybody. And of course, you can criticize people as well. And their position, just make sure is within the confines of the law. Stay true to whatever is going on. While not canonizing anybody, either it's P2B or President Tinubu or Atiku or Femi Ojo. Do we have an issue on our hands? Let's fix that issue. Now, what P2B said in that statement is this. What is happening in our country? Have just been informed that yet again at the weekend, about 172 worshippers were abducted from churches in Kaduna. This is yet another unfortunate consequence of a nation where insecurity has been allowed to grow, unchecked and unchallenged in our everyday lives as though it were normal. These should not be, even with the government and police stating that they are not aware of the incident. We must ask ourselves hard questions. Is this how we'll continue? Can we keep walking up to news of mass abductions, disputed figures, and officials' denials while citizens live in fear? Whether confirmed or contested, the frequency of such reports alone shows a greater crisis of safety leadership and unity. Just recently, and of course, he talked about all of those places. A government that can mobilize resources for waste, for propaganda, for foreign lobbyists, but cannot secure communities or protect its people has misplaced its priorities, rather. To the people of Kaduna, you are not alone. We stand with you, and to the families whose loved ones were taken, we share in your pain. We pray and hope that those abducted will be found and returned safely, and that those injured in the course of these attacks receive swift and full medical recovery. If these denials are true, we thank God Almighty. If untrue, we stand with the families of those affected and urge relevant authorities to take swift action. Nigeria deserves a government that treats human life as sacred. The The time to confront this insecurity is now. And of course, in his usual signature, a new Nigeria is possible PO. Now, this is not speaking for or against P2B or anybody in this matter, but the crux of the matter remains, do we have official confirmation of the true position so that we can, at least we can activate all, responses or responders to help in this matter? And these are some of the issues, but some will, when you check the statement, might see it as an attack on the government, as an attack on the leadership of the government, because it talked about lobbyists, $9 million allegation that we heard recently, and all of those things. And we some have called a waste, because that's supposed to be the business of foreign embassies actually in those countries. I don't mean we have embassies, diplomats that are really working. Why will you pay lobbyists just because you want to make a position to the American government, allegedly, as they say? And these are some of the issues. And he's getting the sticks. And of course, not just anybody that dares criticize the government in this manner, because they will see it as an assault on the leadership. Because when you say, oh, it seems you have misplaced your priorities and all of those things, and you can't take away the political, dynamics of this conversation as well, because P2B is a strong force, definitely, politically speaking.
Yes, right. I mean, it's always about politics and playing a position, but sometimes I feel, as not being a spokesperson to these people, but when there are facts, when there are points, valid points in whatever figure is speaking, I think that we should set aside who the person is and actually take away, the points, the issue at hand that the person is asking, that, the thought should be, should be pointed on, or that is sending our attention, pointing our attention to that direction. That is what we should do. We should move beyond politics of calumny and all of those things. We should face issues, and especially as it concerns security, and especially again as it concerns Nigeria. Nigeria is battling insecurity on every face from multiple directions, and that is why we're having statements coming in strongly, talking to the leadership of the country, and talking leadership, not just the executive now. We were talking yesterday about the police and their standpoint, their statement, about what has happened. That is what we are saying. The police should not be making such statements. That you should do your investigation. That is why you're there. It's your duty. It's your responsibility to search out, to figure out what is fact and what is false. And if you're not sure yet, we do not expect statements that rule out what may have happened or what may not have happened.
You think it was hasty on the part of the police?
It was hasty. That's what many Nigerians think.
Well, because some are saying, as much that they have spoken to
community
heads, and they have denied. In fact, they are saying, give us names. That's what they are saying. And you might want to say, logically speaking, that works as well. But then there are many levels of investigation, for allegation of this kind and this dimension. Okay, the fact that you've spoken to people and some have said that didn't happen, does that mean, you now take your kaya, as they say in Nigeria,
and
you
some
go
are
back
saying
to your
it
station?
Happened.
And of course, other persons are saying it happened. The person representing them at the Senate of Assembly said he has been reliably informed that it did happen. The person representing the same people at the National Assembly, at the House of Reps, said it did happen, but the number, it couldn't ascertain, but possibly it's not up to 100. But even if it is 2 or 1 person or 50, we are talking about Nigerians, actually.
And the point about asking that names should be provided, that should have happened before giving a statement on this person is lying. Right. I mean, if you can come out to say that community heads are saying it didn't happen, you should be able to say, oh, as of this time, we don't know what the true picture of things are, but we're going to do a deeper investigation. And that's what we are saying.
Right.
Take your responsibility seriously, irrespective of the dynamics around your responsibility. Very important.
So many things happened, in the past few days, and we'll try to look into some of them before we hit the papers. Now, there is this video that has gone viral of, the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, when he visited a passport office, actually, immigration office, and of course, he was there asking questions, you know, hopefully, maybe in the next few minutes, our producers can put that up, you know, and he talked, you know, he was asking them, the officers there, I think what he was really addressing is waste of people's time and, you know, nonchalance of the officers on duty. You know, in that particular video, he was seen asking questions. I think there are maybe 2 places in that particular office I can ascertain right now where he said, I think there is one for everybody, you know, office in the same immigration office now. There is another one for so-called VIPs, actually. And of course, it was at the VIP session, you know, it would have been at everywhere. Of course, it was everywhere. But that particular video was recorded at the VIP session, and he was asking them, how does this work? And they said, okay, there are some people at the other side, there are some people upstairs that usually come here VIP, that's what he called it. And he now asked them, how many have you done today? They said, okay, they're still waiting now. So at the VIP section, and he asked the question again, how many minutes does it take for you to enroll a capture? They said 3 minutes. Okay, when did you open? The woman, I think the head at that particular formation was saying, oh, 9:30 was. When do you open? 8 o'clock. Okay, we put on the generator by 9. So how many have you done today? It's like they said 3, I mean none. And then the man was asking, so how does it work? You take enrollment, and then someone in the same office, 2 computers, 2 desks rather. One is doing the enrollment, the other one is doing the capturing. Do you understand? And in our ask, so when you do the capturing, how do you do it? The enrollment.
Okay.
They said they will first complete the enrollment before they go for capture. And the minister was asking, that's a waste of time. Why will you enroll? The moment you enroll, send the person to the next desk, let him capture, and let him go on his way. Biometric capturing. But the person at the capturing stand was just waiting, you know, because the enrollment has not been done. You know, I wish we have that. Hopefully we will. And the minister was asking, you don't have respect for people's time. And he said, now in this your VIP session, that's where he put it, in this your VIP session, nobody is there. At the other end, it's filled up. And you can't transfer people from that place to this place, but because it's VIP, and those guys are not there, so everyone can just be, you know, jammed up in that place, making noise, sweating, causing confusion, and while you guys are up here doing extremely nothing.
And can you also look at the fact that if the VIP section is like that, what will happen to the regulars?
Of course, that's what we are saying.
How do you think the regular sides to this thing are being served or are being treated?
He said it as well to them to say, even if, let's say, your so-called VIPs are not here now, and all of you are here talking, chatting, doing nothing, while the other session is jammed up. And I think it's reminiscent of what happens in many places in which people's attitude to work, although, you know, expectedly as well, people already getting, the minister is already getting sticks that he went there, you know, because the minister had a mic, you know, this clip mic to his clothes. And many persons are saying, oh, you went there for PR. You want to play to the gallery. Either that is the aim or not, but it has shown, and some are saying that is a work that there is a particular, you know, investigative journalist called Fisher Shoyombo, and he has spoken about the rot in the system and all of those things. That maybe that is what has triggered Tunji-Ojo. Truly, without, assuming without considering, if that is what has triggered it, that's a true trigger. That means whatever Fisayo has talked about is working. And he has left to show that particular place that what will now be done. But then it shows people's attitude to work and maybe non-existent or non-functional system that will check people's productivity.
Yes. And let's also talk about the issues around that. I mean, several of us, you know, have passports, and we know how, you know, these things go. You find that some people talking about this, the VIP thing, you found that they will ask you if they are to expedite, you know, the process for you. You will find that they charge you more. There is a fee they would ask you to pay. Those are the things that we also expect the minister to point, you know, or to put his attention on and speak to. Those are there. Those issues are there. It's just like when you go to different other ministries and you want to see a particular person fast enough, you want to, fast track your own process, you pay an extra fee. It is always there. It is there too at the passport offices. And the fact that you find that people go there, and spend weeks before they can get this thing done. Those things are also there. And if we were to draw conclusions, we'll say that we can see how the process goes. The wasting of time. I don't know how you derive pleasure in finding that people are recurrently making repeated trips, unending trips to your office, and you're fine. It happens at banks too. There was a time I had to tell.
Out my mouth. I'm sure that many.
There was a time I had.
I'm sure that many persons watching this program that might have, given me a name about bank complainer. The system in our banks is absurd.
Terrible.
Is absurd. Go ahead.
I mean, I had to tell the person on call. I said, "Do you know I also have an office? You want me to resume at your own office every single day? Is that how it works?" It wasn't long after that the issue was resolved. But you find them thinking every other person does not have any other business. As long as you're at their office, that's where you're supposed to be. People have businesses too. People have schedules. And as much as we want to get something done at your own office, we also need to be back at our offices. That's how it works.
Respect for people's time.
Exactly.
Actually. And I think there is a big systemic problem about our attitude to work.
Yes.
Especially at government offices. Actually.
At the end of the month, you'll be paid.
I think there is this psyche that some people have, like they doing that work is like they helping you.
Yeah.
Actually, that's what you are being paid.
Yes.
Do you know I've been to hospitals before? Definitely, family, antenatal issue with wifey and none of those things. And then, do you know that hospital is a place that, they don't normally come for advertisement. It's a place of compulsory service. And I'm talking about government hospitals. You don't wake up and say, I feel like going to the hospital. There is a need why you have to go. Now, when something goes wrong in the family way in the night, either your wife is pregnant or your child is suddenly sick, and the thing is, you have your plan for the day, right?
Like all of it to share.
Yeah. All of it, because of this, depending on the situation at night, it was quite chaotic. People are in fear, panic. They don't know what to do. That's why they rush to the hospital. And you get to the hospital and you are meeting some persons that feel like they are just in another regular place. A hospital is not just another regular place. Yeah, thank you. They feel disturbed.
You disrupted their sleep and all.
I've been at a particular hospital, a teaching hospital, not far from us here, that I got to the place and the guys that were there at the payment point, because you have to pay, then you take the receipt, to a particular place to access that particular service. And they were narrating the films they watched at the weekend. The two of them. The way they do it, you see one window blind covering between you and them. And they're like, Me only change, that's the way they say.
Yeah.
Me only change.
There is a total disrespect. Like,
does these people know this is hospital? Every other thing can even be forgotten. But do you know you are working in a hospital? In fact, when it turns to that, me only change because of the urgency. People say, forget about it. Just give me the receipt and let me go. Either you are giving me change or not, it's not the issue. It's as bad as that. And do you know the important thing? You have this small Savicon box.
Yeah.
This suggestion box. That even you looking at that box, it's rickety, it's not useful.
Yeah.
I've accessed another service in NIPOST, and in which, we transferred some stuff, somebody that I knew from the north, and then we came to the office around here to come and pick it up. And when the person saw it, and in fact, the attention, hello, pardon my, that was the way it was said. Good evening here and all of those things. Afternoon, rather. And, they were there. That's in a government office. Okay, we are there for this service. Okay, where's your receipt? And, the person was just carrying the body. Do you see the way I'm doing? And they're like, you are disturbing them. Like, you could have come earlier. It's still within your service hour. Okay, and then you go there and, okay, this is it. See your load there. And then the person gets to see it. A brand new traveling bag that was gotten with tires. Two of the tires were spoiled. That means in transit. From that point, and the person was angry to say, what's going on here? I gave you a brand new bag that I got for thousands of naira. And all of it, so the person said and said, that's how we got it here. It's not a problem. You know, it will travel all over. That's how we got it here. And that's the attitude. I'm telling you. That's how we got it. All right. Hold on. And that is just the way. And the person, definitely, if you are the one that you are going to access that bag, at that point, you're already angry that what's going on here? Now, even if there's nothing you could do about it, there is a way you speak to say, oh, madam, we are very sorry. You know, it has gone through many stations. That's how we received it here. Oh, we are so sorry. You know, there's a way you have spoken to and you feel, truly, maybe this final destination is not there. And truly, it might not be their fault because it has gotten maybe from Sokoto to Ilori, Ilori to Oshogbo, Oshogbo to that particular point. And the person said, okay, and the thing got feisty. And the person who was attending said, if you are not pleased with our service, you can write to the Postmaster General if you are that concerned. That was the language used. Write them and we will answer. And, you know, the superior boss now heard over, you know, everything was now noisy. He came to that point and said, what's going on here? And the person said, this is what happened. And the woman in charge was pleading to say, how could you people speak to this woman like that? This is her property. She paid for this service. And the reason why possibly she didn't do it on a way bill with drivers is the fact that she wants that safety and everything. And this has gotten, and the person, you know, was just, and the woman was pleading with us. At that point, the person I went with was so livid, and rightfully so as well, to say, and in fact, I intervened and said, you want us to write to the Postmaster General? That I will. And then we will know if you are right. And you know the important, when the woman, the head of the service, came to us and intervene on the matter, you know, that's why you are spoken to, no matter your anger. You just take that one as your loss. The person who attended us to us, speaking in such a manner, is the head of Savicom in that station. And the woman said, you just came back. It was lambasting that particular officer to say, you just came back from a training on Savicom. You know, Savicom, the people that, you know, they attend to you if you have complaints, and that you are even the one in charge of this office. You are the one that people, you are the one supposed to pick people. Yeah.
More like the
and see what you are doing. He said you just came back from a seminar last week. And this is your output. And you know, the woman was quite elderly. Possibly somebody towards her retirement to say, don't mess up this place with me. The issue is, I wouldn't suggest to the woman, but I told the woman, you know what to do. This one is just a young, blooded officer who's feeling entitled. You have been in service for almost 30 years, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and this person wants to ruin it for you. But what am I saying? People's attitude to work is really a problem. But is it really because of us as a people, or because there is non-existent reward and consequences system in place that if you are doing well, the system will reward you. And if you are doing badly, irrespective of who you are, either you are my brother, you should have the consequences.
I think it's a people thing. And the people thing is streamlined to this part of the world. I don't know if it happens like that in most of Africa, you know, right? But in Nigeria, it's a very terrible thing right here. Very, very terrible. It's ingrained into our work culture. I mean, we go to other places and you find the smile they give you, whatever grievance it is you brought to that place is outsourced. But in Nigeria, when you're aggravated, they're aggravated with you. They're aggravated. In fact, it's terrible. And I just feel that it's not because you shouldn't have to be incentivized before you
That's
give
another point.
the best.
You know, people prepare when they are going to government offices to say, please arm yourself with notes because you don't, so that you can have your way.
And so
if not, you keep coming back.
Because even things that are your rights, they don't want
to make it look like a privilege.
Let alone favors. So don't wait for incentivization before you do your job.
But your job. You know that people will always do what they want to do. But that's why there are supervisors and checks.
That's where I was going to go. Let there be checks, disciplinary system. Points at every workstation that works immediately, that will give and the person query and send the person out of that office at that time. You find different people. You see secretaries, customer service operators talking terribly, and that's because they feel whether we work, we don't work, we treat you anyhow, we don't treat you anyhow, our money will be paid.
All right, you know, I think we should just take a look at that Bumitunji job. But before we do that, you know, I think to balance the conversation, yeah, apart from that poor service, you know, there's a place of you demanding optimum service from somebody as well. Sometimes it can depend on what you have been able to do in that system.
This same teaching hospital that you're talking about, I was there last week. And you needed to have found the way I was walked out of the place. What happened to simple courtesy?
What was your offense?
I wasn't supposed to be there. I wasn't supposed to be sitting there. I'm not the patient and all of those. And I find now, at least at that point, I was able to understand that this thing about having a relative with a patient, entering the doctor's office and all of this, they're trying to scrap it. When the world is advancing to more levels, I mean, we're still struggling in Nigeria where you have a husband following or entering the theater or the delivery room with a spouse. We're still struggling with that fact. And now for basic medical care, you are telling a relative that she cannot be there, and you're saying, oh, even the patients do not have sufficient seats. Why are you here, please? And all of it wasn't even said in a decent way. Right. You should say decent. And the person will be fine. What was that? Please leave.
Let's take a look at this moment too, because there are different strata to that conversation. There's a place of, especially this hospital that I talked about, that there are some persons that are there with some services that are not being paid or that have been overworked, and that I can confirm as well. There are so that conversation is neither here nor there. You still talk about system because I know of
we understand the place of emotion.
That's a
but
place
you should be able to. It's just like sleep. You should be able to get yourself back and think about the ethics of that job. For you to be showing up at that job, you should be able to keep.
Now I'm not talking about those that are talking about the Nollywood film they watch. Those ones are very terrible ones. But I'm talking about doctors or nurses that you see that they're a bit edgy. They are not as welcoming as you be, because I've shared an experience that I had here with a close person that I know. Unfortunately, the person has left the system for the UK right now. The point is, people have their professional way of handling things, right? But then there is a way a particular system is so overstretched that you won't get the best out of them. Let me give you the example. That particular doctor friend resumed 8 a.m. on a Friday morning. And by the virtue of the fact that there are no sufficient hands and all of those things, and it was a very busy place like the labor ward that he was in, 8 a.m. on Friday morning. Do you know when he left? Monday, 5 p.m. 8 a.m., the full day. Friday, 8 a.m., full day Saturday. So on Sunday, you don't expect a maximum service from that person. And he didn't even leave Monday morning. He left 5 p.m. So, we are supposed to have that balance.
Not that dynamics to it. I understand. But look at our job too. There are some times we're overwhelmed. There are times too that we have it better than other days. But you don't see us going about with our faces, despite the fact that
even if
we have it is our colleagues we're having. And exactly. What I'm saying is there is a place of the overstretching. But when you wear that garb,
all over the place.
Please.
All right. Let's
take on the professionalism.
The Tunji Ojo at the immigration office. But you should see this.
So if the essence here is division of labor, she is doing enrollment, you are doing capturing. So why must you wait till you enroll everybody before you do capturing? Somebody can go there, call somebody, you do the enrollment, then you do the capturing, the person goes and vice versa. You could do that. So why must you? You're wasting people's precious time. Time is money, time is expensive. It's unacceptable. It is unacceptable. The one that you said is for the masses. That is there. And people are already there. I can see the queue. They are doing enrollment, they are doing capturing. They are there. The one for the masses. But this is because of VIP. And Nigeria has no VIP. So because it's for VIP and children, so definitely you people will just be taking AC and be chopping line while Nigerians are waiting downstairs. It's unacceptable. When you wear this uniform, you wear a uniform of sacrifice. When you wear this uniform, you wear a uniform of service. You are here to work for the people. I'm not impressed with this because I can't get here and not see people. Because once there is no, how many times do you get VIPs? Your so-called and unquote, your so-called VIP, quote and unquote. Well, how many times do you get there? Not every day, not at all times. How many times do you have children? Not at all times. So for me, I can't enter. No matter what you tell me, it doesn't apply to me. To put it mildly, you cannot, and I repeat, be here and there's nobody.
All right, that was, a part. There is another longer version of that where he was asking those questions. How many minutes does it take you to do these things? And it's quite a logical thing to say that you have two offices. The other office is overstretched, and you are here doing nothing. And do you know that VIPs, now, with the information that we know, that we go with, you might see it will be full, the officers that will be working here will be the premium so-called officers, or the senior officers are the ones that will be working. The junior ones are the ones that will be having problems with the people that will spit on them, slap their face, drag them, which is bad. But the ones with the VIP, the way those officers will be selected, and they are the ones, most likely the most experienced, are the ones that will be there doing virtually nothing, just because the VIPs are not around. So the other ones can die. Oh, downstairs.
Amy, I dare say it's not because the VIPs are not around. It's because of the incentives that are attached to VIPs.
No, I'm just talking.
Though that is the only reason, in fact, that they are there. And we're talking about the most experienced. Yeah. You're supposed to be at that overcrowded.
That's the point I'm making.
Where you know that emotions would rise, tensions will go, tensions will stretch, and all of those. And it's going to, at a point, it's going to be a full-blown chaos. And that's where you're supposed to be to handle things like that. Yes.
As a people.
Everything is not about money. We need to really, really stress that. Money is good. As a matter of fact, everybody needs it. It is necessary. But not everything is about money, or it's not every time you prioritize money. Sometimes that good relationship, that timely intervention, that courtesy is what will give you whatever money would not even get you.
If only
it sounds cliche, it sounds like preaching, but that's just it.
I even have whispers in my ears, right? That I'm negating what you say. All right, we could dedicate a whole program for that conversation, especially the people attitude to attending to people with status. Actually, in the same hospital.
You'll find it's not in the same hospital, the same time. Heavy.
And now I'm using hospitals because these are places that you expect mature people. But then the apple cannot fall too far away from the tree. The hospital, the banks, the police station, the media house.
That's another one.
Is still a reflection. All of them that are working there, they are still from us. They didn't bring them from Pluto, or they are still my people, your people, somebody's uncle, somebody's auntie, somebody's pastor, a younger brother to an imam. All of those persons on Sundays that will put suit and sutana, and on Fridays, the law and everything.
Ministries and
they are the ones everywhere that are still doing these things. Have you tried, even at eateries, right? You get to a particular place and somebody said, okay, give me something and something. They look at you like,
they size you up.
750, 100 naira. Card or this thing. You pay. And somebody enters maybe with a key of Lexus and they see the person, and the person is asking them to keep the change. In fact, while you are there saying, give me they will tell you, sir, sorry, somebody wants to buy something. Our attitude to these things. When I'm using personal examples and experience. Family, wifey, antenatal, some of those things that I go with her. You see some of those persons, should be hurrying, or many of our people, they told us to come by 8 a.m. And then they are hurrying up the place. Or 7:30, and then, there's the tally. That's where it's down here. So number 1, number 2, number 3, they pick the tally. And the doctors and nurses are not even there by 8 a.m. So everybody will say, I'm the one following you. And they will be like 50, all of them with long bellies and all of those things. God bless our women. No. So they are there, and the matron comes by 8:30, and the junior nurse will carry the bag. And he said, hello. And all of those things. And the doctors will come by 10 a.m. That doesn't mean that's the time they leave their house, because some of them will have been, they sleep in the hospital. Some of them will first go for ward rounds before they head back to that antenatal ward and all of those things. And, they do all those singing. Very interesting use of words when you go to antenatal places. You know what I'm talking about. It can be really a comedy, but they are passing a message, actually. And that's quite good, the exercise and all of those things. And somebody walk in, drop from a big car around 11 a.m. and just walk straight in. Metro Moti one time, and the person is, oh, a nurse will come and pick you. And you know, all these heavy bellied women that are there, and you know, women, you can't hide the feeling, and people go to do, Nigeria.
People are beginning to speak up.
And all of those things, you are just, and the woman walks through, sometimes she doesn't even greet anybody, just walk through, and by 11:30, 12 p.m., he's on her way back because he's almost out. Because she's chairman's wife. And all of those things, you know, if the tide were turned and it were to be favoring you, you would like it as well. But it doesn't help the system. And of course, at that point, the ones that have been there since 7 a.m., 8 a.m., they become agitated. They become angry. And the session for that day might be a waste for them because there is something in them that is not happy about what is happening. And do you know, it won't just be that day, the cycle continues. And everybody, you know, the next thing is to wait after everybody has gone and go to Mommy Matron to say, Mommy, what can we do? Your child, and people frame up all of those things and have your number, ma. You know, all of those things. And that person leaves that general cycle to the VIP in code cycle. And instead of she to come 8 a.m. will come by 12 p.m. with possibly hamper, or the hamper might have been hampered earlier. And it just shows the rest of us. And we want a nation that works, but it can't work.
It can't work out. But our mindsets also needs to change. People. We do not like you said, when you're on the receiving end of a good treatment or of a favorable treatment that you do not deserve, you're fine with it.
You're fine.
Until you're on the one.
You know, it's called favor.
Sometimes
and when you're on the flip side, it's called
undeserving.
It's called cheating.
Right?
They have cheated me.
The fact that these people know that people are beginning to speak up, they also spring up lies. They tell you, oh, this person has been coming since last week. We told her to come today.
Or is he on this wife?
Or they don't even tell you whose wife or whatever.
Or God's wife.
They just, you know.
Somebody.
Yes.
You know, when something works for you and you know it's not supposed to be, we call it favor. When it's not in, you know, it's not working for you at that point, or you are not benefiting, you call it bias, you call it cheating, you call it corruption. We must do better as a people. You know, we have to take time on these today to just express what is up, because whatever we do here is towards the public good. Newspaper is up next.